China has just flipped the script on Bitcoin and really all markets with a major money printing situation happening. US also starting to get in on the party. We want to talk about that big macro thing going on right now, some Bitcoin charts, what's going on with the GameStop situation, some stuff on AI and more. So stick around. It's going to be a good time, of course, answering your questions second half of the stream. So hold those burning questions until then. Now, let's get straight into this. Now, what do we got here? China is contemplating, which means they're probably going to do it, issuing a trillion yuan, 139 billion US dollar equivalent in new debt through a special sovereign bond plan, marking the fourth such sale in 26 years. The Middle Kingdom appears to be warming up to the money printer. The money printing is here, and it's going to happen on epic proportions because there's no other option really for central banks at this point. They just have to keep printing the money. China actually let us out of the global liquidity slump. I think they started printing in October 2022. FTX collapse, of course, happened very shortly thereafter, so it kind of dragged the crypto markets down a little bit in that last moment. But you got to remember, BlackRock nearly timed that bottom perfectly. They released for their private customers, not for, regular people, but for their private customers, released a private Bitcoin fund in, I think, August of that year. Very interesting, right? Because they knew this was coming. They knew the liquidity tap was about to get turned back on. Markets would go up as a result. China here, of course, printing money now. Unsurprising to see. Of course, they're always going to have to do that, aren't they? It's not just China, though. We can't just single out China because America is also on the party. U.S. Treasury keeps auction sizes unchanged through July, but launches a buyback program. Like I just sneaked it in the second half there, Reuters in the title. What is launching a buyback program? Well, it's crazy how it works, isn't it? Crazy how it works. So what is it? The Treasury is the Treasury. So they issue out bonds, right? And then basically the Fed buys them back. What is going? It's such a crazy system. I heard a great speech yesterday from Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador. He's at CPAC. Go look up Nayib Bukele's CPAC speech. He breaks it down in a pretty funny way. If I had a chuckle, it's just such a ridiculous system. They just keep printing the money. Wild. Anyway, is what it is, but you have to understand that it is what it is, because by understanding it is what it is, you can understand that liquidity is going up globally. Marty Party here pointing out money printers are starting up. Can you hear the hum? China has been printing. China has been printing. USA, you can see it's just there. It's a little one. It's a little one. Look right here. USA starting to tick up. Been going down, 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 down. We're starting to have a little bit of tick up here in US liquidity, US printing, Euro printing. Canada not, but it's not the most impactful economy on the planet. No shade, Canadians. Okay, it's just, just the truth. Okay, Japan, what is going on here? Japan, man, holy cow. Money printing is really their only option. They keep doing it. And when they print more money, when money starts flooding into the ecosystem, what happens? What happens? Asset prices go up, which can help fuel a continued bull market until they rug liquidity again, which they will. They always do. They overprint and then they have to hard correct. It's never a delicate, gentle, agile process, is there? No. No, there isn't. Anyway, Willie Woo says risk on is coming, probably when asset managers come back from summer break. Responding to this from James E. Thorne, said a simple rule: liquidity leads risk assets. M2 growth now positive. Are you hearing this? M2 growth now positive. QT surprise by the Fed, rate cuts in 2024. Pain trade is due north, aka assets are going to go up. Liquidity is leading once again. Pay attention to liquidity in the markets. We'll go up until we don't. When they start pulling liquidity out again, get out the markets. Get out and run away, because that'll be the next collapse. But right now, look where we are. Look where we are. It's interesting. So money is coming in. China's bringing money. Japan's bringing money. The Fed's dumping in it again. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Anyway, let's take a look at charts here to get started off with. So Bitcoin still ranging. Of course, this is our fantasy scenario here. The downtrend ends at some point. We start putting in higher peaks climbing up. Okay. Right now, we are stuck right here, though, between the 100-day and the 50-day EMAs. 100-day acting as support currently, 50-day EMA acting as resistance. Yeah. So there we go. Until we break out of this range, we're just kind of chilling, moving sideways. A very tight range currently between two key moving averages. Be very interesting to see how it plays out. Big picture, we're going to be fine. Short-term picture, who the heck knows? We'll find out. I want to share a chart with you from the rational root cycle alignments. So you can see how early we are. This is the little pink line here on the chart, okay? That's us there. Anyway, very early in the cycle compared to previous all-time highs and how the cycle has played out post-Bitcoin halving. Very interesting. Halving cycles here. We're just, of course, again, pink line's hard to see on the chart there. A little pink line right there, very, very early compared to previous cycles where we had massive run-ups after that. Okay? Early. We're early in the cycle. Titan of crypto pointing out cycle top November 2025 says history doesn't repeat itself, but it does often rhyme. Bitcoin could top, could be 19 months away from its cycle top. That, of course, looks at this idea that the cycles keep extending out a little bit from Bitcoin having to all-time high price. You can see 2013 took us 11 months. 2017 took 16 months. 2021, 17 months. Are we going to see it a bit longer this time? What's interesting is that even if it is a little bit longer this time, it still ends up within that sort of golden zone that has happened so often before. We have basically the top come within about a month on either side of November 28th. Will it happen again? Remains to be seen. Remember, we have to stay open to what the market's showing us, not what we want to hear, right? I like such models. It's interesting. I kind of generally agree with the time frame, but I'm also open to the idea that if I see all those top signals popping off much earlier, I'm going to pay attention to that, okay? I think it's important. Coach K sharing this. What is the price going to be 1 year after the halving this time? So you can see 2012, 1 month after the halving, 9% up. A year after, 8,800%. 2016, 10% down a month after the halving. A year after, 285% up. 2020, 6% up a month after the halving. And in 2020, a year after the halving, 548% up. That stuff doesn't happen overnight. And this is the important thing to remember, is that it takes a little bit of time to play out. The effect of the halving, the effect of Bitcoin, the effect of Bitcoin ETFs are been pretty dramatic. We're still over 60K at the time being. We'll see, of course, how that plays out over the coming days and weeks, but still consider where we are, where we've been, and that the Bitcoin halving just happened, and that price impact will come, but it doesn't happen overnight. Okay. It's always taken some time to grind up a little bit. And I want to share this too, because if you're betting against crypto, this is what you're betting against. You're betting against this. This is Raoul Powell shared this. Said crypto users versus internet users over the same time. So if we assume that crypto follows some kind of a similar pattern to this, then we are looking at 1 billion users sometime next year. So basically doubling from our current user base, and up to 4 billion users, aka mainstream adoption, by 2030. Now that's very interesting, isn't it? Maybe it's 2032, because 2024/2025, 2028/2029, 2032/2033 major bull market cycles. If we can assume that we can keep having this rhyme of liquidity cycles and Bitcoin halving cycles echoing into the future, if only it were that simple, of course, but still. Whether we get to 4 billion or just 2 billion, if you bring in 1.5 billion more people into the crypto markets, dude, holy cow. I like this meme. Get in, loser. We're going risk on. China's printing, baby. Let's go. Hey, real quick shout out to today's sponsor, which is iTrust. If you want to be having a tax-efficient crypto trading experience, you may want to check out iTrust. So you can bring over your existing IRA, you can roll over your 401k or other 3-letter, 3-number retirement plan and come over here and within the wrapping of that retirement plan, trade crypto as much as you want. You can have 1,000 trades of Solana and Dogecoin and Bitcoin, Ethereum, and never once hit a taxable event, which is pretty powerful stuff. If you've been trading crypto, you know what taxable events in trading look like. It's pretty tedious and burdensome, let's say. They're open 365, 24/7, like the crypto markets, unlike Bitcoin ETFs, which of course are just Bitcoin also. Low costs, no monthly fees. It's the biggest crypto IRA provider as well, with the highest number of users, total assets under management, total volume, all that kind of stuff. And you can even get real gold and silver via the partnership with Kitco, and even do in-kind withdrawals on your crypto in the future. Pretty cool. If you want to check it out and learn more, you can use the link in the description and get up to $100 funding bonus. Check it out. Okay, so the GameStop's back, man. It's back. It's back. This dude right here, he's the GameStop guy. He's a roaring kitty. He's back. He's posting on X again. And people are very excited about it. People are very excited about it. Because he was the guy. He was the GameStop guy, right? And look, a note on personalities. No one personality is should ever be followed without question, right? And markets do not rise or fall based on one personality either. Okay? So that's something to keep in mind. Is that he's back. That's exciting. Obviously, he had a very important role in the whole GameStop, AMC, short squeeze that took out like that billion-dollar hedge fund, Melvin Capital, stuff like that. That's all big news. It's all a very interesting story, big story. And of course, he had a movie come out recently, so congrats to that. However, just keep in mind personalities, right? Okay, anyway, this dude's back. People are getting very excited about it on social media. Byzantine General pointing out a $9 billion stock just pumped 100% in a day, which subsequently made several multi-billion-dollar meme coins pump double-digit percentages, all because a kitty on Twitter posted a meme. Yeah, some of these meme coins are up wildly today, wildly. He says people are still out here buying Warren Buffett book and using Sharp and EBITDA and other ratios and shit. It's true. The current markets, the ability of modern markets, crypto markets and meme stocks and all this stuff to just go insane, it's one for the record books, without a doubt. And of course, in typical Wall Street fashion, GameStop and AMC both closed up about 75%. But GameStop's stock was halted 9 times today. You were making too much money too fast. You're not allowed to do that. Yeah. Pretty crazy stuff. Just a reminder, Wall Street doesn't really want you to get rich, guys. They don't like it when you do this because there's probably big firms out there trying to roll the dice again and to short this. And they'll probably get wrecked by an army of crazy retail buyers. Gumshoe here pointing out Roaring Kitty is the retail catalyst we needed. Plus, we have Trump's increasing odds of winning elections. And again, you don't have to like Donald Trump, okay? But he is presenting himself as the pro-crypto candidate right now, okay? So there's that. Sideways, painful price action consolidation, shaking people out of the market. Bull flag on the daily, negative neutral funding on alts and memes. Exchanges seeing regular twaps on Bitcoin. All-time highs by mid-June, says this guy. Who knows? We'll see. That's just a dude commenting on Twitter, but it is interesting that we could see this be a bit of a hype catalyst if, of course, GameStop and AMC can keep catalyzing on that excitement. This cat here, Zach, he says, GCR is back. Famous trader from the last cycle. Came out about a month ago, said, guys, it's going to be okay. It's fine. Buy crypto assets. Roaring Kitty, the GameStop cat's back. Trump bullish. Sam Altman raising trillions for AI. Apple launching AI data centers. NVIDIA creating insane GPU chips that'll change the world. If you're not betting right now, well, yeah. It's interesting. We are very quickly going back into a strong risk-on environment where we're going to see people getting very excited about markets again, hopefully. Right? Hopefully, I know there's a lot of fear out there, World War III and new bugs, let's say, going around the world and all this kind of stuff. But big picture, Bitcoin halving's in, ETFs are here, money printers are being turned on all across the major central banks. Retail could start taking more of a notice in the market, which is going to bring a whole new liquidity flood in. Yeah, interesting. This guy here sharing AI season might be starting soon. NVIDIA announcement this month. NVIDIA earnings announcement this month. ChatGPT 5. Other stuff going on. So we have a lot of big stories out there around the AI market, quite specifically as well. Things that are getting people quite excited about the AI market again. I mean, did you guys see this today? They had ChatGPT like translate. It's crazy. Apparently, Duolingo stocks are down today. I like Duolingo. It's a funny one because if you go out and learn a foreign language, it's quite good for your brain, actually. It's fun. But a lot of people are probably going to stop doing that because now you can just use your phone, blah, 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 and that translates on the other side for you and much more effectively than before. And I think that's the thing. For a long, long time, any kind of, and I don't know how good it's going to be. We'll have to see how it goes. I mean, it's usually relatively easy with some of the more similar languages to English, for example. When you start getting off into, like, I don't know, Chinese or something, it might be much more complicated, but it'll be interesting to see. And of course, it'll learn very, very quickly over time. That's the crazy thing about AI. It's just got this exponential learning curve for the artificial intelligence, and it learns very, very rapidly, which is super interesting. And that could be a whole new AI catalyst, get people really excited about AI again. The bubble blows up a little bit more. And look, the AI thing is going to end up being a massive bubble. There'll be all kinds of companies and crypto coins that end up just absolutely shit in the bed later on. It's not going to be pretty at some point. But until then, speculation is going to run wild on top AI crypto coins and top AI stocks. People are going to get very excited about all these new companies launching. And of course, there's going to be 1,000,001 different tools that regular people can use to start businesses online and all that kind of stuff. It's very interesting. It's a very exciting time to be alive. And the AI thesis, I think about this from time to time, because the AI thesis to me is this is technology that is as important, more important actually, than the entirety of the internet itself. If you weren't around, I know most of you guys probably were, because I see my statistics. Most of you guys are around my age, some a bit younger, some a bit older. The ones a bit older, you'll definitely know this, but back in the 90s, using the internet was a painful experience. But we got there, things got very exciting, speeds got better, access got better, now it's ubiquitous. But because of the ubiquity of the internet now, the ability for AI to go up is massive. I think it was Mark Zuckerberg who was saying that what was he saying? He said GPUs aren't going to be the bottleneck. He said it's going to be producing enough energy to run all the GPUs, which is an interesting take. That AI in the next 5, 10, 15 years is going to get so wildly big. We're going to have so many data centers, so many warehouses stacked full of GPUs, just running data calculations nonstop for all kinds of crazy stuff. The internet's about to become a very wild place. It's very exciting too. So the AI thesis still, I think, definitely one of the bigger, more important theses to watch right now in the cryptocurrency markets. So we'll be continuing to cover that here as we see big company announcements from Web 2 world as well as Web 3 companies. Anyway, let's do some questions. What do you guys want to talk about today? Crack open a drink. Let's chat crypto. Sam says memes are the meta of this cycle, but fade at your own peril. Yes. It's so easy to mid-curve memes. Really, it is. Really, it is. It's very easy to say, okay, well, they're just pictures. It's all dumb. Whatever. Fine. I get it. But retail likes it. Right? And that's hard to fake because retail money can definitely make things move. Jay Stevens 212, Bylark's been a good 5 years. You sold out to shilling your bags, and now you're buying the Trump is good for BTC narrative unsubbed. Well, I've always talked my bags. It's, I know them, right? I know my bags. I try to tell you guys. very transparently all the time. What are the coins that I own? Right? What are my venture investments that I have? Stuff like that. You can always find that disclosure on the YouTube description, pin comment on X. In terms of Trump, I mean, look, as I've said before, and again, man, peace to you. I wish you the best in your investing career. I know it's very, very complicated when speaking about politics, and honestly, I don't really support any of the candidates. I think maybe RFK Jr. is the most interesting of the three people running for president right now. But it's just an interesting juxtaposition right now between, I guess, the two major candidates, the Democrat and the Republican candidate. That one is at least looking at crypto as a ploy to catch some votes and get voters interested, and the other is very much anti-crypto. So, look, politicians lie all the time. It is what it is. And if me saying that is too much for you, then man, I understand. I know it gets really, really heated when people start thinking about, well, the Democrat guy, Republican guy. I don't really like either of them. If you'd like me to boil it down, like I said, JFK Jr. is probably the most, or RFK Jr. is probably the most interesting one. But I really look at that as what is being said right now, and whether that ends up being the truth or not, is that Trump is coming out as the guy who wants to at least position himself as being pro-crypto. Will he actually be pro-crypto when elected? I mean, politicians, they'll say anything to get elected, and when they get in, who knows, right? But anyway, man, peace to you. I really wish you all the best. And sorry to see you go. Sorry that saying those things were too much for you. I get it, man. Politics can be very, very divisive for people. Melissa says, can't wait to have a robot to help me clean my home and cook for me. Amen to that. Amen. Have you seen these new Tesla robots? Those things are super cool. Or what is it? OpenAI is working on one. Tesla's working on one. Apple was going to work on one? Are they still doing that? I would suspect that they're probably going to bring something like that out. The Chinese are working on a few different Chinese companies are working on them. So like we're going to have like domestic. It's finally happening, guys. I remember watching the Jetsons again back in the 90s as a kid, and it was already kind of an old cartoon by then. But watching that, and they had their housekeeping robot and stuff like that. But now it's really happening. They actually have the robots. Have you seen these things? They're wild. I can't wait to buy one. I'm not sure I'll be the first person to buy one. Maybe I'll let the kinks work themselves out a little bit first. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. Victor, great question. Can you explain how investing in altcoins is more profitable than Bitcoin? When Bitcoin has a finite supply of 21 million versus unlimited alts, everyone can issue new coin. Yeah, very true. Very, very true. Look, here's the thing. Altcoins are cyclical. Right, Bitcoin's not going anywhere. That's the thing to understand. There's almost two different assets here. They're based on the same technology. Bitcoin is Bitcoin. Everything else is kind of just this altcoin jungle. And long term, Bitcoin's the one that's going to be here. And we're starting to see other altcoins really position themselves. Obviously, Ethereum is not going anywhere. Solana's probably not going anywhere. A few dozen others, Chainlink, stuff like that. They're sticking around. However, when the cycle heats up, what do we got from here? Let's say Bitcoin gets to my target of like $215,000, something like that. That's 250% gain from here, approximately. Not bad. But if Bitcoin goes up 250%, a lot of altcoins are going to go up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x. You'll make more money on the altcoins in the short term. You can then take that altcoin money and then, take the cash in your pocket or buy more Bitcoin later for the long-term holdings. So that's my thought on the whole thing anyway. Let's try and catch up here. Melissa, I think you messaged me earlier, said you had a question. Make sure you ask that today. I'll try and have a look at it. What are your thoughts on the Tucker Carlson meme coin? I think it's hilarious. I don't have any. Probably not going to buy any, but I think it is pretty funny, to be honest. And I think they've done pretty well with those little short daily cartoons. Like, it's clever. I think it's a very, very clever meme coin, and their approach to what they're doing, making funny crypto news. I like it. Again, I don't have any. Not recommending to buy any or anything like that, but I'm just saying it's funny. I like it. I've seen it. Dustin says, as soon as there are robots to clean my pots and pans, I'm buying. Yeah, man. Yep. I feel it, man. I feel it. Nah, man. Still haven't looked at Alien Base. We'll get there one of these days. I'm not holding any near. Don't have any near. Have no exposure to the near. Well, I guess I've got some sweat coin from a venture investment from like 2022. It's currently not doing super well. So I guess I have like one near on that wallet to pay for gas fees. So technically I have like one near and some tiny exposure to the near ecosystem. But I don't have any near. Am I going to buy any? Probably not. I'm not anti it by any means. I did the review on it. We did a great explainer video on that recently. It's actually a very interesting blockchain. They're doing some pretty cool stuff. I like it. No hate, but I can't be in every coin, man. So don't have any. Probably not going to get any. Do, 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 do. These nuts. We talked about the M2 money supply at the start of the video. Go back and watch that. But generally, liquidity coming into the market, bullish. Okay. Let me see here. Is Athena a good buy entry right now? You know, I haven't looked in very deeply to Athena, so I don't really have a good opinion on it. Sorry. I know that right now there's a lot of pretty interesting opportunities right across the altcoin space more broadly. A lot of entry points on decent coins. And I think Athena has definitely got growing adoption. People are paying attention to it. People are talking about it a lot. You're seeing more integrated across DeFi and stuff like that. Does that mean it's going to be successful? Does that mean there are no systemic risks to having a massive DPEG event and all that stuff? No. Okay. And I don't have a position, but like I said, more broadly, I think there's some interesting opportunities across altcoins right now. Do you think this will be the last bull cycle where we see crazy gains? Look, I think there's definitely some big potential for huge crazy gains in this cycle. 2028 cycle and 2032 cycle, the next decade's probably going to be the absolute sort of like the golden era of wild crypto money. After that, probably starts getting a bit more boring, more like the stock market. It'll get too big. This cycle, maybe we go to 10 trillion. Next cycle, I know people are already saying we're going to go 100 trillion in 2028. Maybe we extend that to like 2032, $100 trillion market cap for all crypto coins combined. It's going to be big. And I know we're only at 2 trillion right now, going up 50x, or even if it goes up 10x, it's still massive. Go up to $20 trillion market cap's insane. Do you have any Gala or VeChain? No, I don't. And you can find that disclosures in the description on YouTube, pin, comment, and X. You know, I did back when I started my crypto journey, think about getting into mining, but you know, I just don't really have the space for it. Don't have cheap energy. I think if you are going to be mining, you have to understand very, very much the mining game. It's really its own total unique skill. I don't even think about mining. That mining is definitely something you can make money on in crypto. You got to have cheap power. You have to be able to play the game. You have to be able to efficiently get machines without having them be taxed too much with import taxes and stuff like this. So it's a tricky game. Most people can't do it super effectively. But if you have some GPUs and stuff, there's always some coins out there that you probably can mine. But yeah, I have not done any mining since 2017 when I had a Litecoin miner. That was fun for a few days, and it was too damn loud, so didn't really use it. Okay. What's going to convince new retail to buy? The price is going up. Has always and probably will always be the main thing that attracts people into the market. And you can see that evidenced by when Bitcoin got to 74K, we had a $1 billion inflow day into the Bitcoin ETFs because the price is going up, and number go up technology is the one thing that gets people super excited and gets them to pour money into the market. Okay. You ever gonna grow a beard? Probably not. Probably not. I like being more clean shaven. Did you ever end up getting a render? No. I'm still paying attention. I follow them. I'm keeping an eye. I like what they're doing, but I have not got a position. They are doing big things with Apple. Yeah, we covered that story the other day about their Apple stuff. Seeing a lot of questions of the same sort of coins. What about Arrow? What about this? What about we talked a lot about a lot of these recently in recent live streams, so I don't want to talk about those too much. Do you have any gaming coins? Yes, I do have gaming coins. Again, you can go look at my portfolio in the description. Lots of gaming coins, actually. Not super huge amounts currently in the portfolio, but I have quite a few venture investments in the gaming space. But yeah, probably one of my biggest gaming bags, my two biggest gaming bags right now, just throw that out there, are going to be Beam, which is Avalanche based uh, sort of gaming infrastructure, if you will, right? They've got their own subnet and a studio behind them with lots of money to bring into the market, help incubate games and stuff like that. So that's cool. And then Illuvium, man, Illuvium is a beautiful looking game. Beautiful looking game. So got a nice bag of that sitting there. It's chilling. We'll see what happens. Lark, if Bitcoin ETFs are not real BTC and customers don't actually own their keys, not their Bitcoin, what's the point of the ETF? Well, great question. Look, Bitcoin ETFs are obviously not real Bitcoin. They're backed by real Bitcoin, which is important in terms of total market liquidity, total demand in the market, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, fundamentally, people don't actually own their own keys. And you have to remember, for a lot of people, they don't want to own their own keys. They don't want a Coinbase account. They don't want to buy Bitcoin and put it on their cold wallet or anything like that. They don't. They don't. They just want to have exposure to it. And this gives them that. This gives them exposure to it. This gives them exposure in a way that is going to be made more tax efficient, for example, stuff like this. So there's a lot of reasons why people would want to get a Bitcoin ETF because it abstracts away all the difficulties of buying, holding, self-custodying your Bitcoin. But it also takes away all the power of owning your Bitcoin. So it's a trade-off. A lot of people don't mind about that trade-off. They just want the price exposure. Price goes up, they sell, or maybe they hold it for a very, very long time, but still they don't want to manage it. They don't want to think about, where am I going to store my private keys? What happens to my wallet? All this stuff. It's a big learning curve in crypto. And we forget that if we've been in crypto for a while, but actually just getting into the market's scary. Sending your first crypto transaction scary, all that kind of stuff. Okay. What do you think about Zentry, the new GuildFi? I have not looked at the rebrand. Rebrands can be kind of bullish more broadly in crypto. But I was a GuildFi investor back in the day. Sold my position as it sort of released during the bear market and stuff like that. But I have not looked at the rebrand, so I'm not sure what's going on with them currently. Lark, ideas on ways to stay out of fiat when the cycle's over. I mean, look, for me personally, having a big bag of fiat for a set amount of time is not terrible. Like, you don't want to just get a big bag of fiat, hold it forever, and then forget about it. But yeah, if you want to really stay out of fiat, it's tricky. I mean, you'd have to either go into Bitcoin, but if you're trying to not be in fiat almost at all, you got to sell your altcoins for Bitcoin, probably at an opportune time. You really want to be in cash for a little while, in my opinion, not financial advice. You want to be in cash for a little while, wait for prices to correct significantly, and then enter into Bitcoin, for example. Of course, you can put it into stocks. Something like dividend stocks are probably going to be a lot less volatile during any major market corrections. Tech stocks will be risk off, just like crypto will be risk off, and they'll get slaughtered again, like we saw in 2022 with crypto and tech stocks both going down dramatically. So there's that. I guess you could go into gold. Semi-efficient, especially if you're buying gold ETFs that just track the spot price of gold. If you're trying to buy physical gold, you have to pay like 2 to 3% premiums, which, it's going to be a bit problematic. And then you're speculating again on the price of gold going up or down, and how that's going to perform in a massive risk-off environment is not a certainty. But then you have BRICS buying truckloads of gold, so that might balance it out. But, fiat's a necessary evil. Let's put it that way. Mike says, you heard of the 5.3 theory? If so, what are your thoughts? Yeah. I looked into this a bit yesterday. Somebody sent me a screenshot of it. I think the 5.3 theory, not an expert here, but if I was looking, the means the top was like 80K or something like that. And then what's the implication for next cycle? It's not very much. I think it's maybe something that has worked so far, but is not likely to work into the future. Okay. RFK owns Bitcoin. When do you think gaming coins will pump? Don't know. I feel like we need one game to really start taking off, and that'll drag all the gaming coins up. Like one game. And there's been some really successful games already this cycle, games that have got hundreds of thousands or even more players on board. So gaming has already been relatively successful this cycle. It's just that not all gaming coins have been going crazy yet, unfortunately. But they will. They'll have a gaming season. It'll come. It'll come. We'll do one or two more here, guys, and then we'll finish up for today. Yeah, diminishing returns theory, basically. And, to an extent, we do have diminishing returns, but it's going to follow a 5.3 model forever? Probably not. Probably not. D. Kane, still bullish on Axelar. Still holding it, man. Still holding it. I think it's got some decent potential. I don't necessarily need to hold it for the entirety of the cycle. I might, but we'll see. But I think right now, it's fine. It's rocking and rolling. Holding my bag. So cool. It's fine. It's chilling there. We'll see what happens. Again, recency bias, right? Think about this. A lot of altcoin prices are down pretty bad right now. And yeah, because the prices are down, people have an opinion that, well, they're not so great anymore because the price is down, but all altcoins are down. If it was just your one or just one sector, maybe. But when the entire market's down, you see that, for example, Axelar is getting fundamentally better all the time, new partnerships, new chains, and all that kind of stuff, in spite of the price being down, because everything's down right now. Okay. Where was that question? Here we go. Why are they printing money if they know it's going to spike all assets? Because they get the money first. They get the money first, and they don't have any choice either. You got to remember, the governments, they're all kind of broke. They're all in a bad situation. They're all massively, massively in debt. And for most of these guys, the only real way that they can be continuing is by printing money. So there you go. We got some great videos coming on this pretty soon, so keep an eye out for that. We'll be breaking down more of these sort of money printing situations and stuff, because a lot of interesting stuff going on there. All right, guys, we're gonna finish up there for today. Thanks for joining the stream, and I'll see you next time.